How you been?
All right, I'll check out all right. I'll be waiting for you. See you later, boys. All this stuff down for the money. And then we can bring it back. He's nuts. The man is nuts.
This car right here.
We came up. Where was this?
Do whatever. You're supposed to go down there with a pen and paper, call Lisa. That's what I was still down with. Front gate now.
Good for you.
Is this a 7 Rock special? Yeah.
It was fun.
He's shot me. Candid camera.
He had some stuff. I guess it was maybe down the Grove I see it. He had some stuff and he signed some stuff. I just give me one of them. Sitting on my dresser.
You know, if you spend
Is that right? Yeah.
You don't care. Don't worry.
Weekend racing. I'm spending the money that I had. Yeah, we'll ruin you. I'm usually posing with all the women.
Thank you, Bill.
But what the hell?
Or it used to be a wind scan, right?
Yeah.
Castro's number 0, Jessica Manchester's in the 43. The 26 of Tom Kiefer Jr. from Warwick, Johnny Belmont's 40. Dana Saber in the 78, and the green flag is out, and we're racing. As Linda has the lead now in that 27 car being challenged by Robert Avila, the yellow flag is out. Yellow is out. Yellow is out. Roberts 01, Scott Fitzgerald in the 03, Tommy Furtado in the 5, and 51 Tom Duffy, and the green is out again. Once again, Lydia. Linda, I'm sorry, it's called Lydia. That's Johnny Mercury's wife, and she's definitely downstairs. She's not out there driving that car. But Linda is. Linda Henshaw is driving that car around. The Black Diamond Limo sponsored automobile, and she's doing a pretty good job staying in front. A little bit wide there as the 52 of Bobby Avila gets down the inside. Bobby Avila with Eddie Tebow in the 53 underneath. Look out. If she gets out wide again, yeah, they're going to get by her on the inside, and she can't quite close the door. She does that time. Closes the door through the turns, and the 52, Avila has to look for a place to go. Look at that 3 car on the outside. Howie Bishop trying to, oh, we got a spin. We got a spin, and bang! That's a hard hit sideways. That's a hard hit sideways. That can be troublesome because that's the worst type of... Looks like they broke the knuckle and steering and drive off the front of that 59, so that'll be out for a while. As we get the green, Linda Henshaw once again pulling them around in this 2 laps complete in this feature event. The letters mean nothing. It's not, neither feature is more important than the other. It's just that that's how they line up. This is the B feature, which means it's just as big as the A feature. Down the inside goes Eddie Tebow. Eddie Tebow being chased by the 85 Barry Shaw. Eddie's being chased by Shaw down the inside to it. Shaw with that blue number 85 gets under Linda Henshaw's, I'm going to say that wrong. And the 47 backwards on the fence. Johnny Belmont gets that 47 and he gets it going at the halfway mark. He gets it going again. One of the 3D cars. There's that 53 of Eddie Tebow. Eddie Tebow in that Dunkin' Donuts special. GP Motorsports. Eddie's got that, he's being challenged very, very hard by that 85. In fact, the 85 is trying to go through the trunk. Barry Shore is tapping him pretty hard. Hold on that 47 all over the racetrack. 53 staying down in there tight as the 85 looking for a way through. Looks like the 5 is getting ready to go to lunch. The 5 car of Tommy Furtado really smoking up a storm. Oh, there it goes. It lost it. Can you get to the pits without leaving oil? No, can't turn it in there. Okay.
He's gonna drop it down.
He's gonna get off the track. There's Tommy Furtado with an engine gone bye-bye. Never made it to the end of the season. White flag for this feature event. And Eddie Tebow trying desperately to hold on. And look at that, Lydia Henshaw. Linda Henshaw. Yeah, Linda Henshaw trying to stay right with him. As Barry Shaw, riding that back bumper, comes by. Eddie Tebow wins it. Shaw is second. And Linda Henshaw is third. Dunkin' Donuts, Doyle's, Tire and Auto Allied Motor Parts, GP Motorsports, and Precision Engines. Third feature to run. So, we've got a long ways to go. And you know, it was interesting, tonight being Legends Night, and the first name that you mentioned being signing up for the D'Anthony Vendetti, or one of the names that you mentioned, was Bobby Gahan. Legends stories come immediately to mind, and mine is towing Ernie Gahan's car and car carrier back to Millis. It broke down coming out of Stafford one night. They were trying to tow it with a late model Pontiac to keep it towed. They couldn't do it. I had an old Ford, and that old Ford had an awful lot going for it. Bobby was with me, Bobby Santos, and
outside of Albert, out of Providence, Rhode Island, in the Pondview Excavating, Tunes Unlimited, number 18 is Skip Potter. Starting on the inside of the second row, in the David Souza Electrical Contractor, Bert's Ice Cream, Wainwright Home Improvements, number 89 out of Middleborough, Mass. is Bert Silva. Outside of Bert, out of Providence, Rhode Island, in the number 90 is Harry Vega. In the Ed Lopes Pallets Machine. Starting fifth on the field, out of Pawtucket, Rhode Island, in the Landry and Martin Oil, Impression Tear Salon, Toadie's Pizza, number 73 is Mark Langlois. Outside of Mark, out of Cumberland, Rhode Island, in the L&J Auto, number 48 is Denise De Silva. Starting seventh on the field, out of Somerset, Mass, in the Custom Molder Machine, Fast Signs, Auget IDP, number 45 is George Tripp IV. Outside of George, out of Oak Bluffs, Massachusetts, in the number 95 is Greg Jacobs. Damn. Out of Tiverton, Rhode Island is our ninth starter. In the number 9 is Scott Banville. Outside of Scott, out of Taunton, Mass, in the Crystal Cool. He's got the green flag in hand, but he's not going to let him go this time because he's not happy with the start. And everybody jacks up on the front straightaway. That's too bad. This one he likes. He waves a green flag and we're underway. Almontes with a good jump off the start, jumps out front, Potter drops in behind. 3 wide into the corner. 89 of Bert Silver trying the outside. George Tripp on the inside of Skip Potter for that second spot. 3 wide through the corner. Skip Potter holding on in that 18. Tripp underneath takes over second. Number 92, that car smoking heavily. That's Mike Holiak as he goes around in 1 and 2. Denise De Silva goes around down the back straightaway. And George Tripp goes around in the corner, and we're going to go under caution. Third, we're back underway. Skip Potter with some problems on the start. He pulls out of line high on the track. Looks like that car may have stalled. He's sitting there trying to get it started. He's going to try to roll that car into the infield and out of harm's way. Albert Almonte still out front. Skip Potter sits second. The 93 of Donnie Estrella third is the 92 once again. Mike Holiak goes around in the 4th corner. Gets it going. We stay under green. 31 of Jonathan Bradshaw now sits his neck into that race for second as he jumps into third underneath the 93. Sets his sight on Silva. Tries to get under him. Silva a little loose coming out of the corner. Estrella goes around. Bradshaw goes underneath the 92. Heavy smoke coming out of the right rear of that car. Pulls that high. Albert Almonte still out front. Estrella second. Battling with Bradshaw. Bradshaw jumps into second. Estrella tries the inside now. Switching lanes out of the corner. Estrella and Bradshaw battling for that second spot. Eric Brandt sits in 4th. We got halfway. Estrella back into second. Bradshaw on the high line trying to hold on. Brandt on the inside trying to work his way up. Brett Silva sits 5th. Almonte's still out front. Estrella Brandt into 3rd. Bradshaw back to 4th, but not giving up yet as he tries again the outside. Almonte's encountering lap traffic around the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Estrella trying to go 3 high around the traffic. That's going to drop him back to 4th, but he hasn't given up his fight on the outside yet as he's battling Burnt for that 3rd spot. Almonte's opening up a 15 car length lead as he comes out of turn number 4. We've got 2 laps to go. It's Almonte's, Estrella, Burnt, and Bradshaw, your top 4. Brett Silva sits 5th, Lopes 6th, Trippy sitting in 7th. Tripp trying to work his way back from an early spin. 1 lap to go from Almonte's, who's out front. Estrella still second. Burnt and Bradshaw still going at it. Lopes out of turn 4, gets underneath Silva. Little contact, Lopes goes into the infield. That drops him out of the top 5. Trippy gets a jump, and Almonte takes the lead as the 69 comes together. Estrella 2nd, Bradshaw 3rd, Burt 4th. The 69 came together. Looks like the 67 of Brian Dame and Kevin Marino in those 2 cars. As those 2 cars are locked, they get unlocked. What your winner is season. Tough break for Ed Lopes, who was running in the 4th, I believe, 5th position, battling with George Tripp and Brett Silva as he was dropped into the infield with just a lap and a half to go and took him out of contention in the top 5. George Tripp getting some help from the 48. That's Denise De Silva. Wasn't she in the last race? Where is that? Oh, there it is. Getting some help from Denise De Silva in the 48 car.
Lydia something.
Huh?
Linda something.
Yeah, Henshaw.
Yeah.
That's Todd's wife.
Alright.
And that's Albert Almonte. He's once again taking down the win. He'll be up in victory lane in just a couple of moments. Who won the first race? Anyone?
Ed
Ed Tebow. Along with Ed Tebow. And victory lane, of course, is located up in the 4th corner, over near the vintage. First of 3 street stock heat events. Here you go, Jim.
Okay, the Seekonk Knights of Columbus will be conducting their annual drive for retarded and handicapped children here tonight for the 17th straight year. And the Seekonk Knights want to thank Mrs. Vendetti for allowing the Seekonk Knights to do this here at Seekonk Speedway. It's one of the very, very few charities that are allowed because we don't like to put the bite on you. But the Seekonk Knights of Columbus and their retarded and Matt Dewey from Seekonk in the 02. Ray LeBrun from Hope, Rhode Island in car number 34. The green is out for the first of the three starts. And Herb Godfrey's working his way through breaking in a brand new car, a new sponsor, BOC Gases. Herb in the 47 car, brand new, trying to get it squared away. The 25 around backwards. Shows a lot of dirt on the track. Dave Furtado really did some landscaping out there. And is he stuck? Can he get it out of there? Are we going to be able to make it? Just barely. And your leader is still Kevin Folden in that 110. As Kevin has been doing a great job in that 110 automobile. Sean Sylvia's 33 has moved up there strongly in the second spot. Jose Ferro in the 59 holding down third. Whoa, the 72 of Sonny Clements. Sonny's been having trouble getting that car to stay in. Sonny a little sideways again. Breaks it loose down the backstretch, that 72. Loses a lot of ground. Sonny started on the pole, moves to the back as the car will not handle on the racetrack. Car number 72. In the lead now is the 33 of Sean Sylvia. Sean Sylvia has the lead. Kevin Fulton working hard to try to get out there. But Jose Ferro is really pushing him hard. The 38 of Keith Moreau, setting very, very squarely on the racetrack, but doing a lot of smoking in front of Dave Westgate's 49. That 38 is very, very solid on the track, but doing a lot of heavy smoking from underneath, causing some concern as Sparky Arsenal in the yellow 96 up around the outside. Here's your leader, the 33, that's Sean Sylvia. Sean Sylvia in the lead in that red and blue 33. Kevin Poland sideways, but still holds on a second spot as Jose Ferro is third and Sparky Arsenal. Here comes Betancourt in the 21 behind Arsenal. As they have to get around the outside of 47. Herb Godfrey. Herb looks for a place to get out of the way, let them all get by. And look out! Arsenal gets up behind him. A little bit of a surprise as Godfrey got a little bit too low there. Arsenal, the 36, continuing to smoke badly now. The smoke coming out from underneath the engine. The 77, out of control, Bill Haas. Can he get it out of there? If not, we have to go. Yeah, he's moving it. And Sean Sylvia gets the white flag. One more time around for Sean Sylvia. Sean Sylvia gets around. Kevin Poland gets around. And Keith Moreau in the 38. Betancourt, look at this, 3 deep in the turn for the finish. It's all over for Sean Sylvia. Kevin Poland finishing next. Moreau, Westgate, Betancourt, and Ferro, and the 96 of Sparky Arsenal. Arsenal got caught behind that lap car and had to go towards the back. Stock division. Ready to go with the second one. Ready to come right out now. Wired up and go is Kevin Bouchard.
Thank you, Jim. Starting on the pole in the second of 3 Street Stock Heat events out of North Attleboro, Mass. in the TLC Truck Service. Whitey Refrigeration Colonial Auto Parts, number 70 is Lee Parmenter, outside of Lee, out of Tiverton, Rhode Island. In the Sanford and Son Auto Parts, Track Rack, D&D Auto, number 7 is Tony Ojeski. Starting third on the field, out of Norton, Massachusetts. In the Flynn's Pest Control, J. Fisk Construction, Precision Auto Body, number 91 is Chris Robbins. Outside of Chris, out of Portsmouth, Rhode Island. In the Willis Race Cars, Quality Paint and Paper, number 116 is Jim Sylvia. Starting Rodriguez ready to wave the green flag. He waves it. We're underway. Ojeski gets a good jump. Sylvia drops in for second, but not before Chris Robbins and Parmenter get together. Everybody pulls away. Dale on the high side, along with Kevin Howe. They fall back in the pack. That allows Ojeski and Sylvia to get a commanding lead on Parmenter and Wheeler. And the number 16 of Roland Wheeler Wheeler jumps out into third, sets its sights on the front two. Kohler tries it 3 wide. Currently on the outside of Degas Barry and Gene Weston trying to work his way to the front. Olszewski still your leader. Sylvia putting heavy pressure on him, trying to get by. Still early in this race, plenty of time to get to the front. Remember, 6 cars will qualify. Gene Weston gets underneath Parmenter along with Sundin and the 86 of Camara. Parmenter gets 3 hide as Kohler goes underneath. And the black flag is going to come out for the number 16 of Roland Wheeler. I'm sorry, that's the 91 of Chris Robbins. I guess I got my numbers backwards or upside down. Wheeler has caught the front two, now sets his sight on the lead as we got 5 laps down, 5 laps to go. Chris Robbins taking that 91 into the pits. Olszewski still out front. Sylvia second. Wheeler putting heavy pressure on it. Here comes Amasi Harmon in that number 40. In that 4th, 5th, the 79 of Wilcox. Gene Weston sits 6th. Those right now are your qualified cars. The rest will have to go into the consolation event coming up with later on. Harmon gets underneath Wheeler for that 3rd spot through the corner. A little bit loose coming off, but he's still there. Sundin now trying to make a bid into that top 6. Camara right behind him. Camara sits 2nd in the point chase behind Matt Dewey. 66 points out. 2 laps to go for Olszewski as he's still out front. Sylvia sits in 2nd, Harmon 3rd, Wheeler 4th, Weston 5th, and Scott Sundin has moved up into that 6th spot. Camara and Wilcox still battling for 7th. Camara's got the edge. He's going to set his sights on Sundin. 1 lap to go for Olszewski, who's still out front. Camara putting heavy pressure on Sundin for that 6th and final qualifying position. Kohler moves up into 8th. Wilcox to the high side as he drops a couple spots. Coming out of 4th, though, it's all Tony Olszewski takes the win. Jim Sylvia 2nd, Amasi Harmon 3rd, Roland Wheeler 4th, 5th is Gene Weston, and rounding out the top 6. And your last qualified car in this 2nd heat event is Scott Sundin in the number 82. Don't forget, you can buy your lap for at the program booth underneath the tower.
Ready to go with the next one as Tommy Schroeder in car number 85 comes out from Pawtucket. He'll be on the pole with Scott LaBelle from Taunton, number 80. Ross Tetro Jr. in that white number 62 Motortech automobile. Robert Demers from Rochester in the 30. Mike Hope in the 9. Mike comes from Rehoboth. Ronald LaRoe from Bristol, Rhode Island in car number 65. Scott Serenditsky. Scotty's car number 53. Scott comes to us from Warwick, Rhode Island. Scotty's sponsors are with us tonight.
No, that's this one.
Tommy's hard competitor, worked hard all season long and lost the motor tonight, so he won't be out there. All right. So Scott LaBelle, bringing him around. That number 80, that's Scott LaBelle. As that 30 car, Robert Demers, he's trying to stay in there. Russ Tetro on the outside. The 53, Scott Seredinsky, doing very, very fine yeoman job of staying in that lower groove and holding on to that 4th spot. This is the 3rd heat of the street stock division. That's Scott LaBelle. Scott LaBelle being challenged by that 30 car of Robert Demers. Now the Russ Tetro car gets going on the outside. This took him a little out of that 9. Mike Hope gets the 9 out there and hung out to dry as he goes into a long slide. The 65 car, 66 car of Ronald LaRoe. Halfway mark, halfway. As coming out of the turn, Russ Tetro says, I want it, I got it. He gave it everything it had. Now he's in a long, flat slide. Can he correct it enough to hold on? He does. He holds on to the lead, but he was in serious trouble. He got that 62 up there and hung up the drive, but he straightened it out. As Scott LaBelle now sitting in second spot. The 30 of Robert Demmer still looks to get around. On the road. Tries the outside. He's outside the 53 of Saradinsky, but can't seem to get it to come together with 2 laps remaining. Pretty good pace being set right now by the 62 of Russ Tetro. And that 80 of Scott LaBelle. Tetro took him a long time to get that 62 built up. Once he got it out there, though, now he's going faster. White flag, white flag. Seems like the more laps, the faster he wants to go. As Russ Tetro from Fairhaven comes by to take the win. Russ Tetro, Gent Shell, Motortech, and Hanahan's Radiator sponsors that 62 automobile. And Russ Tetro from Fairhaven in warm-ups, and that's why he wasn't out there.
Well, it looks like Tetro really had that field covered. He'll be one to watch coming up later on in the feature. Coming out now is the first of 3 Sportsman Heat events. Starting on the pole out of Pembroke, Massachusetts, in the Cisco's performance, Jim's Garage, Litchfield, Art and Sign, number 31 is Jeff Goodrow. Outside of Jeff out of Assonet, Mass, in the Freetown Sand and Gravel CSA Chevy supply of Assonet, number 57 is Dean Petty. Starting third on the field, the sign painter himself, out of Coventry, Rhode Island, in the Bamford Signs, First Line Speed, Simpson's Brothers. Al Rodriguez, he waves the green flag, and we're underway. Goodrow and Petty down the front stretch. It's a drag race. Petty getting the best of him as he jumps into the lead. Goodrow settles for second. Bamford and Clark battle for that third spot. Clark on the outside. Dana Willis moving up on the outside in that 55, right behind him. Joe Perry is almost 3 wide down the front straightaway. Glenn Watt looking for a hole. Nothing there underneath Linwood Cowan. Bobby Leclerc to the outside. He goes by Cowan, now sets his sights on Perry. Dean Petty's opened up a considerable lead. Kenny Bamford looking for that second spot underneath Goodrow. Linwood Cowan has dropped to the back of the field. Obvious problems in that one. He's going to take that back into the pits. Meanwhile, up front, Bamford has moved up into second. Clark right behind him trying to move up. Goodrow has dropped back to third, back to fourth. Bobby Leclerc trying to work his way to the front. Gets caught behind. Dana Willis gets underneath. Joe Perry gets underneath. Glenn Lyon and Rob Murray also looking to make this a race. Bamford sideways through the corner. Clark gets underneath them. Not enough going through the corner as Bamford slams the door shut. Clark sits right behind him. Goodrow still going on the outside, battling with Dana Willis in the 55. Bobby Leclerc, Joe Perry, Glenn Lyon, and Rob Murray trying to work their way through the pack into a qualifying spot. As we've got 6 laps down, 6 laps to go. Dean Petty opening up a half a straightaway, 3/4 straightaway lead on the rest of the field. Bobby Leclerc being dropped back into the pack to the back. Behind Jeff Goodrow on the outside, not the lane to be in. Joe Perry tries the outside, trying to go around Dana Willis, nothing there. He tucks back in. Leclerc tries 3 wide around Lyon and Goodrow. Nothing there as he settles back in behind, but he tries it again, going into 1 and 2. Murray now underneath Goodrow. Leclerc outside of Goodrow. 3 wide down the backstretch. Leclerc trying to get into a qualifying spot. Murray and Goodrow, a little bit of contact there, but Leclerc comes out ahead as he settles in behind Glenn Lyon in the number 70. Coming out of turn number 4 with 2 laps to go. Dean Petty still out front. Bamford sits in second. Third is Clark. Fourth, Joe Perry. Dana Willis, and here comes Bobby Leclerc on the outside as he's got a lap and a half to get into a qualifying spot. 1 lap to go. Dean Petty out front. Leclerc now to the outside of Willis for that 5th spot. Perry tries the outside of Clark. Going down the back straightaway, it's Clark and Perry for 3rd. Willis and Leclerc for 5th, but out front it's all Dean Petty as he takes the win. 2nd is going to be Bamford, Perry, Clark, and I believe Leclerc got 5th. Dana. So Leclerc just barely making it in. Rob Murray's going to have to go through the consolation event.
Well, you wonder if Petty is running that much faster than everybody else, or are the others running that much slower? Is this chilly weather having anything to do with the way these cars are getting around this racetrack tonight? Because he obviously was running several seconds faster than everybody else out there. We'll find out later on when it's feature time. Ken Colvin in that red, white, and blue number 6 from Attleboro. He's going to be on the pole in this one. Rob Wright from Brockton, the H.A. Wright Electric number 16, the yellow car, outside pole. Skip Shoemaker with the Knights, the Seekonk Knights, for the past 17 years. Be generous, folks. Be generous. There's the green we're racing. The 17 does not get going. Mike Becker has a problem. Now he's got it. Oh, boy. But he finally got it in gear. He went around sideways. Look at the 6 of Ken Coleman trying to hold on to that lead as the 16 of Rob Wright. And Shoemaker battling it out through the turns. Coleman has the lead. Shoemaker gets a little bit squirrely down the inside. Goes Eddie Gannon. Eddie Gannon gets under Shoemaker. The 53 gets squeezed out. And the 53 has no place to go and is trying to get back in again as he and Corey Woodrow now tangle. Shoemaker going to the rear quickly, and he's really following up that outside row. In the lead, Ken Coleman. Eddie Gannon in that 8 car. Eddie's got that thing motivating. Eddie Gannon in the 8 has got that automobile right up alongside of Robert Wright, ready to go for the lead. Steve Ribby's in the Everett Auto Parts number 18. He wants to get out in there. Down the inside goes Tom Scully on Corey Boudreau as Corey Boudreau trying to hold back a lot of traffic behind him. A lot of fast cars sitting there in the back of the pack right now as they get carried back as Skip Shoemaker was steadily losing his pace. Look at this for the lead with a halfway mark. For the lead, Eddie Gannon goes after Coleman. Eddie Gannon goes after Coleman, and now to the backstretch. Coleman takes over the lead with Eddie Gannon takes over the lead. Coleman running in second spot. The 16 Robert Wright is third. 18 of Steve Ribby. Here goes Corey Boudreau in the 21. Corey trying to get around the outside of Ribby. Corey tries to get around Ribby. As Pellin.
He's being a nuisance, guys. You notice that?
Sure he's a nuisance.
Oh, jeez. Recording, let me touch the radio. And your leader is Ed Gannon. As he's pulling out very quickly. Not like the last one.
Been there, done that.
2 to go, 2 to go. 2 more remain as that Gannon automobile with a substantial lead. Look at Boudreau. Boudreau started way in the back and worked his way up there to qualify. Coming around for the white flag. White flag for that 8 car of Eddie Gannon. White flag for Corey Boudreau and Colvin, Ken Colvin. And white flag for Bobby Wright. Corey again starts to take on Colvin down around the turn, but Colvin manages to hold on. As it's all over, it's Eddie Gannon. Eddie Gannon running away with it. What's going to happen when feature time comes?
Never mind the feature. Let's wait for the consolation event. Tom Scully, a co-points leader, failed to qualify in that heat. He'll be out later on in the consolation event. He'll be one to watch in that race. Okay, on the track now is a third of 3 sportsman heat events. Starting on the pole in the Levesque Tree Service, American Paving number 13 out of Swansea, Mass. is Richard McRae. Final heat event, Al Rodriguez waving the green flag. We're underway. Oh, the 95 of Billy Mancha gets sideways through 1 and 2, and we're going to go under caution as he's up against the wall. Not a hard hit, but it looks like the flag is out. We're back underway. McRae with a good jump on the field. Sits out front. Reed drops back to second, but right now he's got a battle from the underneath with David Titus in the number 2. Right behind him is the 99 of Glenn Young. Outside is Kenny Cole, and that 43 as they're working their way to the front.
93 sideways.
93 is California, a little loose going through the corners, means the back end wants to slide out further than the front end. Still a heated battle for that second spot between Titus and Reed. Titus looking for his first feature win of the 95 season. Along with Richard McRae in the 13, two rookies this year.
He's coming on the gas right here and borrowing through the turns in the 89. Reed is. Watch him. I don't understand it. Watch the power right there. Well, you can do it that time. He's getting on.
Reed still holding on the outside at Titus. Behind him, Kohler looking for a hole, along with the 99 of Young. McRae opening up a quarter straightaway lead, 10 car lengths as we cross the halfway point. 6 laps down, 6 laps to go. Titus now starting to pull away just a little bit on the inside. Reed trying to hold on. Kohler looking for a hole. Young gets underneath Reed for that third spot. Kohler and Estrella get together. Estrella falls in behind. Kohler loose through the corner. Estrella gets underneath as they get on the back straightaway. Kohler down in front.
Estrella's in the straight, isn't it?
McRae still out front. Titus sits second. Young sits third. Reed has dropped back to fourth and fallen back in line. Kohler sits fifth as we only got 2 laps to go. 6 is the 45 of Scott Estrella. The 93 of Fournier goes around out of turn 4 into the infield. And we're going to go to caution. That's going to bring out the first caution of this event. Green flag is out. We're underway. McRae with a good jump once again. Titus dropping it behind. Reed and Young battling for that third spot. Reed a little sideways going through the corner. Hudson gets sideways. Blackmar gets underneath Estrella. Reed drops into fifth. Because we've got 1 lap to go. Estrella trying to hold on the outside for that 6th spot. Manchester now trying to make a race for it. He goes around the 24 of Blackmar. But coming out of 4, taking the checkered flag, it looks like Richard McRae is going to take it. Titus second. Manchester hard in the wall in turn number 4. Looks like he may have had a tire go down on that as he went straight in, almost straight into the wall. Just getting it turned enough to get just the right front, not the whole front end.
Looks like the way practice will start at 10 o'clock. We've got a lot to go on. NEMA, ARDC Midgets, Pro 4 Modifieds, Late Model Sportsmen, Legends, Street Stocks, Truck Division, Formula 4s, and a great big fireworks display. So look for it, all coming up on the Festival of Racing here at Seekonk Speedway.
And don't forget, you can buy your tickets in advance.
The Pro Stock automobiles getting ready to go, and we're great in racing! Cavallero gets a good jump. Singles it out right away. As George Rigo making a hole for himself to get out around Cavallero. Rigo gets out there on the outside. Right underneath goes Barry in the 18. Barry in the 18 moves very rapidly into the same hole. Lenny Ellis sitting right behind Barry. We got some competition in this one. George Rigo has taken over the lead. Rigo takes over the lead and Tex Berry moving around the outside of Cavallero. Right behind him is the 41 of Lenny Ellis.
You got 2 of these.
We have competition. Hold on to that 38.
You got this one. You got another post up lead.
The 31 of Todd Henshaw around backwards in the turn. This is going to slow things down.
Then I don't think they're going to.
This is going to slow things down. The cars are a little bit changed tonight because, of course, it is a George Rigo and the 18. Watch the 18 of Barry down the backstretch. Barry has a little bit of a jump, but Rigo is not going to let it happen. Rigo keeps his foot right in it. The pair of them way wide coming out of that turn. Neither one is backing off through the turns. They'll be wide again on this one. Whoa! As they brush the wall coming out, they brush each other. There's no dirt between the two of them right now. George Rigo and Tex Berry. Coming out again. Way out wide. High speed. Rigo. Tex Berry. Battle it out. Lap after lap. Wheel after wheel. Halfway. Halfway. Berry not giving up. Using everything. Hold on. Cavalier a little bit squirrely. He gets out of the way. And away we go. They're trying to slack the pace up a bit, and it doesn't look like it's working as Tex Berry continues to drive on the offside of that 64 automobile. Rigo knows he's there without a mirror. Now Rigo has it all to himself, temporarily. Rigo, Tex Berry, the 41 Lenny Ellis, and the one at Houlihan, with the Ford-powered 48 right behind. What are you scamming? Oh. All over the place.
Who?
Ready. All over the place. Look at him. Whoa. Rear end's going right off the track. As Rigo not being allowed to rest for a minute as Tex Berry hovers in the background. George Rigo trying to run away with it. Tex Berry says, not today, Charlie Brown. As Tex Berry staying with him at 2 to go. 2 to go. And now the 88 of Tripp is taking on the Ford. The 88 of Tripp takes on that 48 Ford. Hanging as we continue down. Trippy gets by. 1 lap to go for Rigo. 1 lap to go for Berry. Lenny Ellis, Dick Houlihan, and the 23 of Steve Channing. White flag, victory flag coming out now. There it is. George Rigo, Tex Berry, Lenny Ellis, Dick Houlihan, and the 23 of Steve Channing. Out and around that 64. What's going to happen come feature time? We'll find out.
Well, as a lot of us know, there's no love lost between those two drivers. And I believe he was probably just saving the car for the feature event. Okay, coming out next is the second of 2 Pro Stock Heat events. Starting on the pole out of Manville, Rhode Island, in the maid cleaning service, Majestic Home Realty number 27 is Danny Gamache. Outside of Danny, out of Cumberland, Rhode Island, in the Ron's Auto Supply, Coya Sanitation, Galinda's Automotive number 57 is Wayne Newman. Third on the field out of Somerset, Mass, in the Viveris Insurance, A&J Landscape, and PDQ Printing number 46 is Jeff Thompson. Outside of Al Rodriguez waves a green flag and we're underway. Newman loose off the start. It takes him a second to gather it back up. He drops back to third as he's battling with Mike Bowler. Looks like Tony Dias is going to try to make it 3 wide around Wayne Dion and the 00 of Capaco. But Gamache out front second is the 46 of Thompson. Everybody gathers on the brakes. Mike Bowler jumps into third, but Jimmy Kuhn quick to jump underneath him. Rick Martin follows suit along with the 00 of Capaco as they come together. Wayne Newman, the 80 of Johnny Tripp goes around. Chad Chase stops on the track. The 10 goes around, and Wayne Dion barely stopping on the racetrack, not to get involved, but it looks like the worst of wear is the jump on the Scott Thompson, holding on the outside though. As Thompson dips in behind, Jimmy Kuhn trying the high line, along with Ray Lee and Wayne Dion. Thompson goes to the outside, makes it 3 wide. Jimmy Kuhn outside of him, working his way to the front. There's nothing on the outside there. As the Gamache gets sideways out of the corner, Kuhn jumps out front. Ray Lee now battling for that second spot. Wayne Dion on the outside of Thompson for 4th. Jimmy Kuhn bottoming out a little bit in the corner as he tries to open up a substantial lead on the field. Ray Lee and Gamache battling for position. Thompson and Dion side by side, Martin and Bowler. Gamache still running second as Jimmy Kuhn has opened up an 8-car length lead on the field as we cross the halfway point. Gamache still sitting in second. Thompson sits in third. Ray Lee has dropped back to fourth. Wayne Dion has jumped underneath him, trying to get away from Rick Martin, who sits behind him. Now he tries the outside. Dion and Lee battling for position, but Dion and Martin battling for points. Martin looks underneath Dion, nothing there. Dion trying to get away from Ray Lee and Rick Martin. He sits in that fourth spot. Currently the hot contested spot on the track. Johnny Tripp has moved up into 8th spot on the outside. Sits behind Mike Boland in the number 10. Ray Lee gets a little squirrely out of the corner, but still holding on. Dion now moves into 4th, but he's still got pressure from Lee and Martin. Gamache has caught Kuhn. Kuhn trying to hold on to that lead. Gamache has caught him. Thompson holding on to 3rd. He's got some space in front of him and behind him. Coming out of 4th with 2 laps to go. It's still Kuhn out front. Gamache, Thompson, Dion, Martin, Lee. Dion and Martin trying to save that car for the feature event. That's where all the points are accumulated. 1 lap to go for Jimmy Kuhn as he's still out front. Gamache trying any way he can to get by. Looks like he's going to settle for 2nd. 3rd will be the 46 of Jeff Thompson. Wayne Dion 4th. Rick Martin 5th. Ray Lee 6th. Mike Bullard, Tony Dias, Johnny Tripp, Chad Chase, and Wayne.
Out there, she was the dean of pit ladies. I think she numbers in the 90s. Lovely lady, and you'd never believe it to talk to her. 90 years old or more. We'll tell you more about it right now. We've got a consolation event now before I get too far carried away.
Oh, I think it's too late for that.
That's too fast. Yeah, you know, what the heck, I'm only a little over 60 here. In the street division, the green is out. Still unqualified. All the cars of the racetrack still do not have a starting position in the feature event. Let's see what happens as Sparky Arsenal brings him around. Whoa! The 4-car Polar tries to get underneath and make it 3 deep down the main straightaway, and it doesn't work. Not for long anyway. Now they're trying 3 deep into that 3rd turn. Get out of it. It just gets too expensive automobile-wise. As Jimmy Lawrence trying to hold on to that outside spot. Jimmy Lawrence and Sparky Arsenal. Kenny Kohler, Rob Kohler, I mean, works his way in.
I need you to go down and organize all the people that are going on the track.
Who's going down on the track?
There's going to be the 5 cars that go roughly.
Jimmy Lawrence has the lead.
I'll give you the sheets for that.
96 is Sparky Arsenal, the 2nd, and 4 Rob Kohler. Sitting in 3rd spot.
And then I come around to the start finish line and stop. I have to go down there now and have a meeting and tell them what it is.
Okay. Halfway. As Herb Godfrey having a problem there, it starts to get lapped.
And Bertha Small is going to come in.
And it's yellow flag. We have a car, the 77, Billy Haas, backwards on the racetrack.
Yeah, and she's going to come on the track with the old, what do you call that old green car of Andy Oliver?
And we're going with the green again. As Jim Lawrence really gets a piece of that action. Kohler gets underneath. And look out going down the backstretch as the 71. Jerry DeGasperi goes around backwards. Throws water on the track. We gotta hold it up again, guys.
7190.
We're trying, but we just can't seem to do it.
Well, you don't have to try.
Can't get that kid of mine married. I don't know. Doing everything possible to get him. As the idiot of Jimmy Lawrence this time has got a pretty good bite on the lead. Look out for Rob Kohler as he's coming in. Rob Kohler starts to wind that 4-car up to 63 of Ken Spencer.
Feels good.
Okay.
Kenny Spencer down the backstretch. Sits in 3rd spot. Sparky Arsenault, the 96. Gets to tell Bob going down there and get the microphones and stuff.
Yeah.
They're not going to talk about that. 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go for Jimmy Lawrence. Jimmy Lawrence bringing him around. Kohler continuing to stay right with him. Spencer staying right with him. These cars will make up the rear portion of the field as the last 3 positions on the starting grid. One more time around. One more time around as those first 3 positions mean so much.
Or was it 4? I think it's 3. Is it 4?
First 4 is Matt Dewey. Sneaks in there and he becomes one of the qualifiers. Jimmy Lawrence, Kohler, Spencer and Matt Dewey sneak in.
Definitely not in danger of losing that tonight, but there is still 3 weeks to go.
You're going to not give in for it.
Well, Kes is going to go down and get things ready to go with the Legends, so we're going to be taking over the second one here. Mike Kamara in the 86 will be starting on the pole. Chris McGee in the 24 outside pole. Rob Rotundo in the 46 next in line as the 79 of Bill Wilcox from Attleboro. Rusty Bryan in the 08 from Weymouth.
Yeah,
Mike
he's
Hope in
2
the
races
9 from
after
Rehoboth. Eddie Plant from Attleboro in the 08. Their race. Now we go with this one. Kate Gramont gives him the green flag, and away we go! You don't think anything about that? I just said you gave him the green flag. Yeah. Know that, did you? Look out! 25 minute around backwards. 25 stuck there. Bad spot. Bad spot for Dave Furtado. Can you get it going? Yeah, he does. And oh, look at this backstretch. Hold on! Everybody gets by, but we got a bunch of cars over there. We got the 24 of Chris McGee. He got in trouble. And we got the green flag. As Mike Kamara. Mike's being challenged right now by Rob Rotundo. Rob Rotundo stays right with him. Whoa! Hold on, get it going straight, Nancy. Nancy gets hers around backwards. Nancy's around backwards. So is that 25 car of Dave Furtado. They keep them rolling. They keep them rolling. Don't forget now, only 4 are going to make it. Yes? I come here with him. As the Mike Kamara with the 46 of Rob Rotundo. The 9, Mike Hope. And Sonny Clements from on the Cape. Sonny comes from over in Martha's Vineyard. Halfway mark. Only 4 to go. 4 to come out of it. Rusty Bryan in the 08 trying to get that going. The 91 trying to get that going. Chris Robbins. Well, this isn't working at all, you know. This side, she's got it turned up. It's not working. I don't know what the battery's dead or what. As Mike Kamara is really being forced through the paces by Rob Rotundo. The leader is the 86 of Mike Kamara, Rob Rotundo in the 46, with 2 more to go. 2 more to go, bringing them around. 2 more. There's Mike Kamara, Rotundo, second. White flag coming out on this consolation event. White flag coming out. And it's still Mike Kamara. That 4th spot being very, very hotly contested as Chris Robbins trying to get the 4th spot away from Sonny Clements. He wants to be able to run in the feature. And it doesn't look like he's going to make it as Sonny Clements takes 4th. So it's Mike Kamara winning it with Rob Rotundo's second. Mike Hope is third, and Sonny Clements is fourth. Thank you for fixing it. Okay, now Glennie Lawton, the Motion Motors automobile from Westport, in car number 7 to be on the pole. Tom Scully, in the 7 from Johnston. Now Scully, is your point? He wants to be in the feature. He hasn't even got a chance to be in the feature yet. He has to qualify. Well, pretty hard. And they have not yet qualified, but they got to do it right now.
She said when I was down there, she said something like here.
Glenn Lawton in the 70, Tom Scully in the 7.
Maybe you can find out.
Scully getting under him. As the 24 Blackmar getting challenged by Rob Murray. Rob Murray on the outside. Scully staying right with Lawton. Remember, these are consolation cars. They should be slower. Lawton and Scully are setting a pretty tough pace out there. Scully has to save that car a little bit for the feature, but he wants to make sure that it'll get around in good shape. And so far, he can't pass Lawton. Jeff Woodrow has got the 31 up in there. Woodrow? That's a new name. I just made a new name. Isn't that wonderful? And we continue to roll. Scully continues to dog Lawton at the halfway mark. Whoa! The 20 of Shoemaker into the infield. As the 31 with a lot of damage on the side. The 53 with a flat tire. We got a lot of problems. Let's see if the 53 can get around. Shoemaker is 53 trying to get around and back out to the pits. A tough break for that lad. As the 31 with a lot of damage on the side, Jeff Goodrow really picked up a lot that time. The race keeps on going. Steve Taylor in the TaylorMade has to win the pits with a flat tire. Scully not giving up on Lawton as he continues to challenge hard for the lead. It's Lawton in the 70, Scully in the 7. Third is the 08 of Murray, then the 24 of Blackmar. Then we go back to the 14 and the 02 of Leroy Hudson. Linwood Cowan. With 1 lap to go, Linwood Cowan may be able to qualify that 14 way in the rear. Just shows you how hope springs eternal. White flag, green flag, checkered flag. Coming out now as Glenn Lawton, Tom Scully, Murray, Blackmar, and there's the 14 of Cowan and the 02 of Leroy Hudson, all managing to qualify. North Dartmouth, Mike's got car number 63. It's white, green, and red. Fairhaven Lumber, Jake's Diner. And that's from North Dartmouth. It's car number 63, Mike Butts. Dana Mitchell from Masonic APAC Manufacturing, Vic's Auto and Metal Fabrication, car number 41. Where is it? Eric Snow in the 83 from Seekonk, the Benz Volkswagen Service, Jack's Marine. Pat Marino from Central Barry from Central Village, Connecticut in the 05. Jerry Berthelot from North Smithfield in the 4. Dave Banville in the 81 from Somerset, and Kevin Taxman in the 88. The green is up, and chaos has broken loose here at Seekonk Speedway again. Look out! No! Whole lot of that 65 now. Patrick Rowan can't keep the 65 going in a straight line. Patrick Burnett, get out of the racetrack now. Get off the grass. Get going, Patrick. Faith to be praised. It's the black stuff you're supposed to be staying on. Look out now, the 75 is in the lead. That's Alan King. Alan King Jr. is in the lead. Alan King has the lead in car number 75. He's being challenged by Wayne King. in the 56. I don't know if the two kings are related. The two kings will meet a pair of twins anytime you want. Look out. And we have a pair of kings in the lead. As the 21 Robert Luongo has managed to work his way up the third spot. Luongo's auto says the 63 of Mike Butts trying to hold on to that fourth spot. Here comes the 82. That's Bobby Blanchette. Bobby Blanchette as King gets under King. Blanchette the 82. Trying to get around Luongo. The 20 gets under Luongo. The 20 gets under him. Who is the 20? I don't have a 20. I don't have a 20. Who is it there? Stanley Sherman. Stanley Sherman gets under him. But we have King in the lead. King is second. Stanley Sherman and Blanchette battling it out. Your leader is the 56 King. 75 King is second. Blanchette is third in the 82. Whoa! Hold on there. Whoa, it's awfully close as the 21. Headed out that way. Straight away. Blanchette taking over third. Blanchette goes for second. Blanchette in the 92. Blanchette in the 82 gets around the 75. This is for second. White flag coming out. White flag coming out. Blanchette trying to take second in the 82 car as King in the 56 continues to lead around. Half a track to go. Half a track to go as Wayne King. Wayne King from Cranston, Rhode Island wins. Second spot, Bobby Blanchette. Third is the 75 of Alan King from South Attleboro. And the 20 goes around backwards, but still counts. So Wayne King. Providence Baking, LaRose Construction and Home Improvement. They all proud to put their name on the side of Wayne King Jr.'s automobile. Wayne comes to us from Cranston, Rhode Island, and you thought of the name.
Tales from the Vienna Woods.
Tales from the Vienna Woods, all right?
It was the Waltz King.
The Waltz King, yes. Tales of the Vienna Woods. That's like the backside of Seekonk over here by Route 95, I think, or someplace there. Oh, no. Wally Saliba told me to say that. Oh, okay. What do we got left now? We got the bunch of features to go, but I think we still got some important things to happen right now. As Wayne King will be going over humming Tales of the Vienna Woods over there in our victory circle. Once again, we want to thank the those of you who donated to the Seekonk Knights of Columbus. This their big fundraiser night for 17 years. And all of it goes to crippled and retarded children.
So we give it just a couple of minutes down here as we sort things out, be able to give you an exact rundown on what's going to happen. Seekonk Speedway. If we could ask the rest of the gentlemen who are here with the legends tonight, if you could come on down to the track. Those drivers in the cars, as he was having a good old time in that former Dog Wolfgang car. And then up the other sprint car, the number 54, that's Bill Damon.
Big smile, big smile.
He was a cut-down driver back in the 1950s. Out here in the number 20, right on the side of Freddie Estelle, is Eddie Hoyle. And behind him in the 01, one of the most famous names to come out of Seekonk Speedway, that's Carl Bugsy Stevens, three-time national modified champion. And if you look at the 70 in the back of this track, you're saying, what's a NASCAR modified doing here? Well, that car itself is I guess you can say an antique modified, because that was an early 1980s modified. That's driven by Scott Ashworth, and he ran the New Hampshire circuit back in the early 80s. The little man with the big cigar sits in front of Scott in the number 10. That's Deke Estelle Sr., brother of course, Freddie Estelle Sr. Back in number 22, that's Mickey Gill, one of the former 500-lap champions here at Seekonk Speedway. Okay, and if we can ask... And driving the number 30, car that Freddie Estelle used to drive, that's Johnny Kay, a former midget driver, Seekonk champion in between the years of 1950 and 1960. Former track champion himself, Mr. George Summers. And so I'll give all these gentlemen a big round of applause. As these folks have made what made this speedway what it is today.
Flowers, hang on for the flowers. Hang on for the flowers.
Get the mic to
Big
you.
smile.
Kevin.
Seekonk person. It's such a privilege and a pleasure and an honor to present you with these flowers. I consider you one of the first ladies of racing. Welcome everyone. Racetrack.
Say it again.
Thank you very much, everyone.
One more time, George.
George.
Mr. Vendetti.
One more time.
One more time. Thank you.
Here we go.
And could Bertha's son get it?
Sure. Right in there. So John, you gotta get Bertha's son.
I'd like to welcome some of the other drivers who are with us tonight. Becky House and Rusty Rushton are in the back of this black Cadillac that is out on trackside also.
A beautiful one. Now we ask you to keep this racetrack safe but competitive. We know that in all sports there is a need to be the best, a need to win. But in auto racing there is a need for respect, a respect for the speed that you can achieve, a respect for the race car and what you can do with it, and most of all, the respect for one another as drivers. Lord, we ask you to allow these drivers to be mindful of one another, and with this respect, they will all be winners. In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, amen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Behind him. He waves the green flag and we're underway. Gamache jumps out to a half a car length lead. Regal holds on to the outside. Lenny Ellis up to third. Thompson back to fourth. Freddie Estelle up to fifth. Gamache looking strong in that 27 automobile. Coming on strong late in the season. Lenny Ellis moves up to second. Rigo trying to hold on the outside. Estelle up to fourth. Looks like that inside lane is the lane to be, and Tex Barry has moved up to fifth. Dick Houlihan sixth. Wayne Dion has moved up to seventh place. Rigo still trying to hold on the outside. Freddie looking for a hole underneath Lenny. Nothing there. As we've got a spin, it looks like Rick Martin, Ray Lee has hit the wall. We've earned a caution. Chad Chase has some sparks coming out from underneath that automobile. Mike Bowl is headed for the pits. Norm Holden, Rick Martin, the zero of Dave Sylvia.
87.
Tony Dias Jr. jump on the field. But Lenny not giving up on the outside. George Rigo trying to get through on the inside. Rigo gets underneath Ellis, looks for room underneath Gamache, nothing there. Ellis high coming off the corners. As Rigo now sits in second. But back comes Lenny Ellis as he's trying to work his way back to the front for his first win of the 95 season. Tex Barry and Freddie Estelle do battle. Wayne Dion and Dick Houlihan do battle. Steve Channing and Jeff Thompson do battle. Side by side they go. Everybody looking for room. Lenny now sets his sights on Gamache on the outside. Coming out of four there side by side. We got three wide action. Rigo looking for room. There's nothing there. He tries it again. Coming out of the corner. He's got it. Three wide. Tex Barry Jr. follows suit. Wayne Dion follows suit. Gamache goes high on the speedway. Lenny Ellis in the lead. Freddie Estelle 6 seconds. Dick Houlihan goes around. Almost collects Wayne Dion. Steve Channing goes around. Nowhere to go. As we're once again under caution. Ellis with a good jump, but Estelle outside. Trying to hold on. Rigo sits third. Barry fourth. Lenny hanging on to the lead, but barely as Freddie Estelle tries the outside, trying to get by Rigo, looking for a hole. Car spinning out of two, the Henshaw, Gamache, and Cavallero all going around in the corner. So Rollins, he didn't drop any more fluid, did he? Again, bringing him down slow. He hits the gas. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Freddie with a better jump this time. Side by side going into 1 and 2. Freddie on the outside of Lenny Ellis for the lead. Side by side they go through the corners. Lenny Ellis trying to hold on. George Rigo looking for a hole. Lenny gets a shot coming off the corner. He's out front. Rigo looking to get underneath. No room there. Freddie drops back to second, battling with Rigo. Rigo and Estelle still side by side. Looking to get to the front. Ellis holding them back. Rigo tries the inside, nothing there. Again he tries, nothing there. Estelle holding on to the outside. Freddie drops back to third. Rigo sits second. Thompson moves into the inside. Wayne Dion is stuck in traffic. We cross the halfway point. Lenny Ellis still out front. Rigo sits in second. Thompson sits in third, battling with Freddie Estelle. Thompson and Estelle still battling for that third spot. Bobby Tripp moves to the inside of Barry. Here comes Johnny Tripp as Dion gets together with Ray Lee. And Dion has severe right rear body damage. Ray Lee cannot get going. And once again, we are under caution. Have a hot dog. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Ellis now with Rigo to the outside of him. Ellis tries to hold on Rigo, sideways out of the corner. But Ellis still out front. Tex Perry and Johnny Tripp, a little bit of contact there.
He goes everywhere but straight on the track.
Lenny Ellis still out front. Jeff Thompson now sits in second. Johnny Tripp goes high on the track, loses several positions, and he drops to the back of the field. It looks like he's got a flat tire on that number 80. Rigo and Estelle drop back. Thompson sits in second. Bobby Tripp sits in third. Steve Channing in that 23 dropping back on the outside. This isn't going to help him. Rick Martin looking to take back over the point leads. We got 10 laps to go. Bobby Tripp now sits in third, sets his sights on Jeff Thompson in the 46 car. Right behind him comes Tex Barry in the 18. Trippy moves to the outside. Does he have enough time? Remember last week it was a side-by-side battle between him and Jimmy Kuhn, him coming up on this lesser end. We'll see if he can do it again this week. Just a handful of laps left. Johnny Tripp's going to take his number 80 to the pits. Lenny Ellis trying to hold on with everything he's got. Bobby Tripp and Jeff Thompson looking to get by. Thompson a little sideways coming out of the corner. Ellis taking up as much room as he can. As this time around we will have five laps to go. Coming out of 4, it's still Ellis, Trippy, Thompson, Ellis, Trippy. Now looking to the outside of Ellis. Martin moves up into 5th. 3 high going through 1 and 2. Gamache and Sylvia. Wayne Dion backs out. Thompson looking for room. It's still Ellis and Tripp. 3 laps to go. Trippy looking to take down his 3rd win. Ellis trying to hold on for his 1st through 3 and 4. They're side by side. Thompson looking underneath. Nothing there. Trippy's got the lead. Trippy's out front. Lenny Ellis drops back to 2nd. Thompson sits in 3rd. Tex Barry sits 4th. Thompson a little loose coming off the corner. Going down the back straightaway. Rick Martin underneath Tex Barry for that 4th spot. Side by side. Coming out of 4 though. It's all Bobby Tripp, Lenny Ellis. Jeff Thompson, Martin takes down the 4th spot. 5th is Tex Barry. 6th is the 48 of Flying Freddie Estelle. In the Jig Chavero, number 88. Sponsored by Blanchette's Boutique Vel Parts. ABC Floor Covering, Graham Excavating Enterprises, Blanchette's Boutique, New England Sanitation taking down his 3rd victory of the 1995 season. And a well-deserved one that was. Lenny Ellis taking down the 2nd spot, one of his better races of the 95 season. As he led that race just up until about 2.5 laps to go. As Bobby Tripp was able to pull around the outside and take down his 3rd victory of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a big round of applause as he worked hard for this one. Bobby Tripp out of Westport, Massachusetts.
Rehoboth, Scott Estrella. From Cranston comes the number 12 of Bobby Pellin Jr. From Raynham, the Nantucket Gold, number 42 of Bobby Leclerc. Lenny Lawton in the 70 automobile from Westport. Tom Scully from Johnston, Rhode Island in the 7th. Rob Murray from Tibbet. Finish line. Let's see what's going to happen now. And right there. Whoa! There we go, and almost everybody made it across, but Colvin, of course, spun out. He was the lead car. Everybody did fine except for the back-end tail markers. The Leroy Hudson and Mike Blackburn did not make it across the line, but it looks like a shot at bringing him down. Let's see what he does this time. This time I think Bamford was a little bit shy, a little gun-shy coming down behind Colvin. Bamford stayed out of it. As the 13 of McRae in the backstretch, the 08 in trouble. The 08 in trouble. Murray's got a problem over on the backstretch. Rob Murray. Look out, it's crowded over there. As the 43 ground loops to avoid trouble. Ken Kohler Jr. That's expensive on the tires to ground loop them like that.
Oh, you know.
And once again, it's out there. And once again, Richard McRae gets a little bit of a nose in front of the 6 car. Following him through is Dave Titus in the 2. As that 57 of Dean Petty very quickly makes itself known. The 15 and the 89 going at it. Bamford and Reed. Now the 13 and McRae. Little space between Titus and McRae. Petty stays right in there. They single file it. That's the speed they're going right now. They are moving. First 8 cars are setting up a fantastic pace for the others. as the 55 of Willis goes into a U-turn. And it's uh-oh time. Dana Willis, uh-oh, on the backstretch. Looking for it. Whoa! We got a little bit of roughness going on out there in the lead as McRae and the 57 of Petty really got together hard. And the 24 and Dana Willis get together. Let's see if the 24 can keep it going. Mike Blackmar, yeah, he gets it going. We keep racing. Things are happening, though, out there. A lot of things going on back there in the back of the pack as that 12 car of Pella trying to get around to Strella. The 99 has got a lot of body damage on that one. Black flag coming out for Willis, and the 55 as the hood comes loose. Year later is the 57 of Petty as the 13 McRae tries once again to capture him. Don't forget the 7 way in the rear. No points back there for Tom Scully.
Bobby Leclerc and Bobby Mellon. Mellon's got some problems. Looks like you might have a flat left front. Mellon's got a flat left front on that.
Starting to go all over the place.
No, he's not at all.
Not the way he was.
Whoa!
On the backstretch, it looks like that 99 and the 43 and who else? Colvin. And so 5, is that the 99 or the 89? No, it's the 89. The 89 of Reed. We had slide rules. So did Adrian. Get ready. Great is going. As Richard McRae jumps in front and takes over the lead. Watch this action. McRae and Petty. Whoa! You knew that was coming. You knew that was coming.
Nothing like putting around.
Now McRae, behave yourself for crap's sakes. Let them handle it. Let them.
He just wants to let it go.
Let them handle it. Like a disease on ER, doesn't it? Look out. I'm sorry, you've got pettitis. As Petty with the lead. 16 comes down through. Robert Wright. Eddie Gannon in the 8 as the 99 and Colvin get tangled. Glenn Young cannot seem to keep that 99 out of trouble tonight. Halfway now for Petty in that 57. Petty in the 57. Titus in the 2. As Gannon is getting under the 16. Gannon has got a lot going for him in that blue number 8 car. Gannon extremely fast tonight. But will he have time? And Boudreau is backing down. Boudreau is out of it. Boudreau, who was running very strong, now is stopping with 10 laps to go. Trying to get to the pits with a flat tire, skidding all over the racetrack. As that 57 car of Dean Petty continuing to find his way around in the lead. Gannon looking to cut it down. Gannon looking to take on Titus. Gannon in the 8. Moving in on Titus as Titus moves in on Petty. As they bunch up. Come on, guys, bunch up, will you?
They're not listening to you, Jim.
I know it. They're not paying attention. They're not paying attention.
At least not a bunch of them.
They're not paying attention. There goes Titus now as he tries to get under the 57. Getting right in there. Titus looking for a hole underneath. No, can't pull him. He gets a little bit squirrely, and Gannon gets up alongside of him. 5 to go. 5 to go. Gannon and Titus battling it out. Titus back into second spot. Here comes Estrella up through, but time is running out. Time is running out as the 57 of Petty. There's Estrella forcing his way by the 60. Hold on to the backstretch. Look out. The Roy Hudson out of control. It almost takes Gannon out of the picture. Gannon almost gets hit by a lap car. Gannon loses that third spot to Estrella with 2 to go. Estrella picks up another very valuable position as Dean Petty continuing. White flag. White flag.
Guess you guys going, aren't you?
Petty all by himself out of the turn. Freetown sand and gravel. There is joy in a sonnet tonight as Dean Petty and car number 57. Sonnet, the Freetown Sand and Gravel Joe T's Pub, quality van sales. And he'll be coming back out to Victory Lane in just a moment or two. Well, we still got a couple of features to go. We got a street feature and a truck feature. And the feature right now of Kevin Boucher.
Want to give me the laugh?
No.
Then I can't do it.
Ad-lib. Didn't you ever hear ad-libbing?
I never met her. You cold? I won't say it. Well, that's going to open up the points just a bit, as Bobby Leclerc was able to finish a couple of spots ahead of Tom Scully and put him into the points lead. In the Danny's Auto Three Flags restaurants, Jim Zaga signs. Number 30 is Robert Demir. Keith Morrow starts 9th in the TCI Press Mobile Car Kit Sal Polo Racing Engines. Number 38, and outside of Sal, outside of Keith. Out of Bristol, Rhode Island, the BG Insulation, Jack's Auto Salvage. Taylor Rental, number 65, and Ronald LaRue. Al Rodriguez looks him over, he waves a green flag, and we are underway. Kevin Fullen jumps out to an early lead. Tony Olszewski drops in right behind, but I mean right behind as he's giving heavy pressure, a couple of taps on the bumper, letting him know he's there. Scott LaBelle tries to get underneath. No go. Cola goes around on the back straightaway.
A lot going on here too. Look at the scene.
Everybody gather positions. Bobby Bancourt 5 wide down the back straightaway. Bancourt sideways through the corner, goes around. No contact is made. He gets it back going, and we stay under green. Great job keeping it off the wall for Bobby Bancourt. But out front, Kevin Fullen still out front. Ronald LaRue goes into the pits. Mike Hope drops off the pace. Tony Olszewski getting a couple of taps from Jose Farrell. Let him know he's there. Jose sits in 3rd. LaBelle back to 4th. Still 3 wide down the back straightaway. Seredinsky goes underneath Morrow. And 116 and Jim Sylvia. Here comes Harmon underneath. Still 3 wide action. Dave Westgate on the inside, Sylvia in the middle, and on the outside, that looks like the 120. I'm sorry, that's the 38 of Keith Morrow. A little smoke coming out of that automobile. Olszewski looks underneath Fullen, no room there.
81 trying to get through.
116 falling back just a bit as we're still battling for position deep in this pack. Black flag is coming out for Morrow. He's going to bring it to the high side, get out of everybody's way. Tough battle out front. Olszewski gets underneath Fullen for the lead. He gets sideways. Fullen hanging on sideways out of the corner, almost into the wall. Jose Ferro gets together with the 110. They cars side by side for second place. Tatro moves up to 4th. Sean Sylvia on the inside of LaBelle. And Serendinsky for that 5th spot. Still 3 wide action out front. Ferro, Tatro, and Folan get together. Folan back. Looks like he may have a problem. Gets it back, gathered back up. He's back underway. Ojeski opening up a little bit of a lead over Tatro.
Sean Sylvia coming up fast.
Sylvia sits in 3rd. Going underneath Ferro. Right behind him, the 26 of Peter Fernandez.
Halfway.
Coming now, we got 10 laps complete, 10 laps to go. We got side-by-side racing. Amasi Hammond to the outside of Serendinsky for that 4th spot. Jose Ferro goes high on the track, loses a couple of spots. Folan gets underneath him. Fernandez right behind Folan. Folan trying to work his way back to the front. LaBelle goes high off the corner, almost into the wall. Westgate goes high on the track, and we got a car in the wall. That's a 110 of Kevin Folan. And that's going to bring us under caution for the first time.
49 got somehow lost his...
Hit the gas, waves the green, and we're underway. Ojeski with a good jump out front. There's cars everywhere, side by side, looking for position. 3 wide down the backstretch. As everybody trying to make their way to the front. Ojeski out front, Sean Sylvia and Russ Tatro battle for that 2nd spot. Amasi Hammond sits in 4th, looking for an opening.
80 up against the wall. Again, he's going to...
Matt Dewey, Gene Weston high off the 4th corner. Gathers it back up. Sean Sylvia and Russ Tatro still battling for position. Tony Ojeski still out front, trying to open up a little bit of a lead. Matt Dewey coming up through the pack. Sean Sylvia, Russ Tatro still battling for position. Coming out of turn 4 though, it's Tony Ojeski out front with 5 laps to go. Ojeski looking for his first win this year. Sean Sylvia, Russ Tatro, Amasi Hammond all have a win so far. Sylvia goes high on the track. Hammond gets underneath for that 2nd spot. Hammond sits in 2nd. Now, since it sights, we've got an accident off at turn 4. Mike Hope losing a right rear tire. And Jose Ferro coming together as Ferro goes around on the speedway. Sits backwards, and right again, we are under caution. Can he hold on? We'll find out. Well, Rodriguez waves the green flag, and we're back underway. Ojeski holding on out front. Amasi Hammond dropping back just a bit. Falls back into 2nd. Sean Sylvia looking to make his way up there. Alongside him, Scott Serendinsky in the number 53. Peter Fernandez tries to make a hole. Nothing there. He backs off. 4 wide down the backstretch. Mike Camara in the 86 falling back just a bit.
62 gets squeezed, right?
2 laps to go. It's still Tony Ojeski out front. I'm going to see Hammond sit 2nd. Ojeski trying to take down his first win of the 1995 season. Still holding off out of turn 4, 1 lap to go. Amasi looks underneath. Tries to get underneath. There's nothing there. Lets him know he's there though. Gives him a quick little tap. Going down the back straightaway for the final time. Into turn 3 and 4. Ojeski still out front. Trying to hold off Hammond. Can he do it? Out of turn 4. Hammond gets sideways. Ojeski's going to take the win. Hammond 2nd. Silva. Serendinsky and Fernandez.
Because the rest of them are, you can mess around with the valve train a little bit. You can use different size lifters and push rods, that sort of thing, but you can't when the camshaft sets right up on top of the valves. So that's the big problem now in the truck division. You see, when you see a Ford get out there and run real strong, you know that they got that thing handling real good because there's very little they can do to the engine. And that'll be along right next. It's Turk Gunbay from Attleboro in the Goosebrook Garage, Countryside Auto, RJ's Automotive, Supreme Motors, car number 92, that's Turk Gunbay. And it's also sponsored by the Battery Shop. That's a Ford. As soon as we get the 9 off the track, we can get started with our final event. the
They're gonna go right to green.
pickups.
They're gonna go right to green.
And it's TD4's feature event. Gunbay grabs the green. Billy Clark is chasing him. Billy Clark to the outside takes the 7 of Brendan Belcher out with him. Brendan is way out wide. This could give you problems. Brendan is way out wide, has to back out of it. Billy Clark keeps it going as Ray Sodier now gets around the outside of Turk Gunbay. Billy has got that number 1 really able to handle as the 0 of Joe Putnam gets underneath the 7. Brennan is having problems with the 7. Whoa! I don't think, Bill, that you're supposed to be doing that. I think he stalled it too. He gets it going. Ray Sodier. Full heat. Where did they come from? Once again, Billy Clark makes his move on the 0 of Joe Putnam. Clarkey coming around, and Clarkey has got his foot in it. Somehow feel that he's through fooling around and wants to make a race out of it. With 2 laps to go, it's Billy Clark and Joey Putnam. Billy looks to close the door. They'll be getting the white this time. As Billy brings his little Ford around.
We call it Ford pickup. They're not
Rangers.
Rangers.
Are they Rangers? As the Ranger is out in front. Ranger gets the white one. C10 is in 3rd spot. We got 2 Rangers in the C10.
How do you know it's not an S10?
S10, same thing. Chevy. And the victory goes to Billy Clark. Billy Clark from Middleborough wins the... made it what it is today. Ladies and gentlemen, drive very, very carefully. We've got a little bit of racing still left to go for the season, and then we got the big one coming up on Saturday and Sunday, and 7th and 8th in October. Until then, speaking for Kevin Boucher and the entire staff and management and the family of D. Anthony Vendetti, Jim Power bidding you Godspeed.
What'd you throw, Jim?
No, you know what it is? 3 cups of coffee this morning for breakfast. I got 2 glasses of water at lunch break. And I've been bringing you some. And I had 2 Cokes when I got here. That I brought myself. Plus the 3 I brought you.
Let's a corner, in a corner. Don't know where, don't know I care.
I wouldn't go anywhere either if I sounded like that.